number right here is the number of illegal immigrants in the US of A right now.
Illegal immigrants come over from Mexico every day. In fact, 50% of illegals that come to the US are Mexican. In Mexico, 40% of their population is without a job, and the government doesn't have sufficient funds to provide unemployment for them. 53% of the 104 million residents in Mexico live in poverty. This means that they get less than $2 a day.
Most immigrants from Mexico come here to make a better living. Right now it takes over $1,000 and over a year to get a green card. For this reason, we should make the legalization process easier. This would benefit the U.S. because then we will be able to capitalize off of them. At this point in time, we need all the money we can get, and we need to improve the economic state of the United States of America.
Are you for or against illegal immigration?
In a sense, I'm against it because I'd rather them come over illegally so that way we can capitalize off the money they make. The government cannot tax people who are here illegally.
So should the process to become legal be less strenuous on the immigrants?
Yes, so if the process to get into the United States was easier to go through, then more people would come over legally. This would result in illegal immigrants becoming legal, and with their legalization, the government can tax them with property tax, revenue tax, and such. If the legalization process was easier and faster to get through, then we can capitalize off of them.
Do you see illegal immigrants being arrested frequently for a crime? If so, for what?
They usually get arrested for driving without a license. Since they are not legal and they cannot get a license, they also cannot get any insurance, which makes it difficult when there's an accident because they have no way of paying for it if it is a serious crash. It also makes to write up reports because illegals do not have proper papers.
From your perspective, does this make them a nuisance to society?
While the whole license situation can be quite a hassle, but do I think they are a nuisance as a person? No. They come over here to try and survive. Most of them just want a better life for themselves and their kids, and they want to make some money.
Do you think that the immigrants that are here already should be given rights and pay taxes, even though they didn't go through the legalization process?
Yes, if they have been here for a year and have established a residency, if they stay a year, then they are most likely going to stay longer. And if we give them rights and make them pay taxes, we can get that money from them. I know it sounds bad, but right now we need to capitalize on anything we can get.
$1 billion are spent to incarcerate illegal aliens. If we legalized all the illegals, that money could be spent on things the U.S. needs right now. Do you see illegal immigrants come into the hospital?
Yes, a lot of them go to the emergency room, and they go for simple things like a fever or runny nose. They use the ER as their primary care, and it is the law that we have to treat them.
Do the illegals take away from the actual paying patients?
In a global sense they do, because they do not pay for the medical care they do receive. Because of this, hospitals have to pay for them. For the hospitals to be able to pay for the illegals, they have to raise prices for doctor visits and insurance costs. Individually, illegal patients do not take away from the paying patients because everyone ultimately gets the same care, but in a broader sense they do.
Should we give the illegals that are already here rights so that way we can tax them and they can get health insurance?
It would be nice if they did get insurance and we could tax them. It would bring in more revenue for the U.S., and it would also cut costs at hospitals so visits wouldn't be so expensive. However, this would be unfair to people who went through the whole legalization process to get here. So, on this issue, legal immigrants receive $30,000 in government benefits, whereas they only pay $9,000 in taxes, and the American people have to pay the difference of $21,000. And if these illegal immigrants were legalized, then it would ease the tension on the American people.
In your business, do you see illegal immigrants as being beneficial as they do jobs other people won't do?
I don't necessarily think that that's true. I think they don't do jobs that other people won't do. I just think that there was more jobs to be had and not enough people to fill, and that's what brought them in to fill the jobs.
Should we give the ones that are already here rights in order to tax them?
That's a hard one. I would say yes, but keep it on the down low so everybody in Mexico doesn't know, so they don't rush the border. But the ones that are here, we should get them ID'd, and we should have them start paying into Social Security and Medicare for the services that they're taking.
Do you agree with the statement that we should give them rights in order to capitalize off of them?
Yes. If they're already here and they're already taking advantage of the system, I do believe that they should pay us back.
And do you think the new immigrant law that was just passed will have a positive or negative effect on business?
I think for the businesses in Arizona, it'll have a positive effect because now there'll be more available jobs for US citizens to do the job, or resident aliens, the ones that are documented to do the job.
There are 10.8 million illegal workers. As a judge, do you see illegal immigrants having a positive or negative effect on society?
From the court's point of view, very negative effect. One of the things that we have to do, if they have a criminal case, is we have to pay for an interpreter to come in. So we'll have to reset their hearings until the interpreter comes in. The court has to pay for the interpreter. If they don't have the money to pay the fines if they're found guilty, we don't have a way of warranting them or finding them to get their fines paid because they don't have a regular address. And what we see in the court most of all are people who are not here legally, do not have a driver's license, do not register their vehicles, do not have insurance on their vehicles, and are involved in accidents where they cause damage to someone else. And from the victim's point of view, there's no way to get restitution for their loss. From the court's point of view, and the public's point of view, there's no way to force them to do anything because, like I said, they usually don't have a residence. We can't find them if we needed to send a policeman with a warrant out for them. So they have a pretty negative impact.
Okay. Should they be given rights and become legalized if they live here then? So all those negative impacts would go away?
Truthfully, I think that's a much bigger problem than a lot of people think. If, for instance, someone is brought over as a baby across the border and they're here, until they're adults, maybe under those circumstances, they should have the right to petition the courts and get legal status. However, if they're old enough to know better and they come across the border illegally, no. I don't believe that they should have any rights. I don't think they should be given legal status. They can go back to the country of origin. They can go through the visa process, come over here legally, be a contributor, and then petition the courts for citizenship.
That makes sense. She may disagree, but illegals create a $10.4 billion deficit, so we should give them rights to tax them and make money back this way. Do you believe that allowing current illegal immigrants a path to citizenship and taxing them would improve the economic status of the U.S.?
Beyond in health care and other government benefits, costs are unsustainable and it will bankrupt our nation. We must enforce current immigration laws. The bill I will introduce when I become a senator is the Enforcement First Act. As the title of the bill states, it will compel local, state, and federal law enforcement agencies to enforce current immigration laws. Also, it has a detailed plan to secure our northern-southern borders and other parts of it.
Because of this bill, we would have to hire 10,000 more Border Patrol officers and put the military on the border. How does that sound for being cost effective? Rebuttal fact. If illegals are removed from Arizona, we lose $26.4 billion in economic activity and $11.7 billion in gross state product.
From these facts and statements gathered, it is concluded that the legalization process should be made easier and that the illegal aliens currently in the country should become legal because at this time we are in a recession and the taxation of these new citizens could help the economy greatly.